All right, welcome to the Sports Guys. This is our first weekend recap in quite a long time. We have a lot of special events in a row, and we're finally getting back to the weekend recap cadence. And tonight we're going to talk about midpoint within the Olympics, what has happened so far. What's the medal count? What are the big performances? What are the big disappointments? Some of the big stories that have come out of the Olympics so far. There's a bunch of drama we need to talk about. And then let's also talk about some of the teams that are really well positioned for a medal in the second week. So we're also going to get into college basketball, how it's looking right now. We're going to look at the scores from Saturday, and then we're going to talk about the NBA at the All-Star break, and that game is going on right now as we speak. How you doing, Robbie?
Weekend review. Doing great. Had an awesome weekend. Got to enjoy some Valentine's Day festivities with my girl, and just it was great. I mean, it was a relaxing weekend. Had good weather, so we got to get outside and go do some of our fun stuff. Some of our scooter riding and had lunch at Jersey Mike's, all the good stuff. Um, and lots of Olympics. Every time I could, I was watching something from morning until night, whether it was Olympics, basketball. I watched a bunch of the Daytona 500 today. I mean, I was dialed into sports all day long today, yesterday. It was great, great weekend.
Yeah, a lot of fun. I've been watching Olympics morning, noon, and night, even replays. Obviously, I told you I like the curling the best, so I've watched literally every match on the men's and women's side, which takes a lot of time. But
Yeah,
watch all those. I've watched every hockey game. Men's and women's USA teams are undefeated, and they're in really good position for the medal round. And I've been watching as much of the skiing and speed skating and all the other events as I can. Some of them interest me, some of them don't, so I kind of pop in and out. But it's
yeah,
been a fantastic Olympics so far. It's even better than I expected.
yeah. I've fallen in love with snowboard cross,
I love it.
where the four are racing on
Hmm.
snowboards. Um, Down a not very steep slope, but they have to like kind of get their own momentum. And
Hmm.
the reason it's so exciting is usually all four are in the race until the very end, and it switches
Hmm.
leads a bunch of times throughout it.
And there are a lot of crashes, like two or three will
There's
crash
some
out.
crashes,
Hmm.
uh, and there's a similar event with it's this skating where I
Short
don't know
track.
what it's called.
It's called short
No,
track.
it's where they skate downhill and
Oh
they're
yeah.
racing each other. What is
Hmm.
that called? I don't, that's actually one I don't know what it's
I don't know,
called,
but
but
it reminds me a lot of short
that's
track
fun.
because around the corners you have guys elbowing each other, girls elbowing each other,
Yeah,
pushing each other
yeah,
out of the way. So it feels like short track in a lot of ways. But
yeah,
it's a downhill skiing event. But I know what you're talking about. There is a downhill skating now, which
yeah.
is
And they do these really
incredibly
tight
dangerous.
turns and they bang into each other. And
Hmm.
it's very cool. I love the Olympics. I really do. And there's a lot of other stuff going on top of it. So it's quite a time for sports.
Very
The
proud of
fact
Team
that
USA.
the fact that the Super Bowl ended does not mean there was any let up in sports whatsoever.
Very proud of my Team USA. I got my hat on tonight, supporting the team. They're sitting at 18 medals now. They're actually ahead of schedule from their last Winter Olympics 4 years ago, and that's
Yeah.
with multiple disappointments, with
Yeah, I think
Chloe Kim not getting the gold and getting the silver, and with Ilya, who was the biggest preponderant favorite in the men's side in a long time, and he didn't get a medal and came in eighth with two
yeah,
falls.
Michaela Schifrin has been
Schifrin came in
11th
fourth,
and
fourth and 11th. Yep. So there's been
yeah,
a lot of
like very
disappointments.
disappointing. So I think the way I would characterize it is we started out like kind of like gangbusters. We really were good in the beginning. And then we have had over this last weekend, we had a bunch of disappointments this weekend, but we've had some good wins that put us into some medal round stuff coming
Hmm.
up. So
Hmm.
I think the next few days are actually going to be good again. So we'll see.
There's a lot of medals to be awarded this week, including all the
Yeah.
team medals. None of the team
Yeah.
medals have come in yet. And so you've seen in the team sports only a couple medals awarded. You have the U.S. curling duo of Corey and Corey get the silver, which was a huge
Yeah.
deal. the first American female
And
ever
they
to get a
almost
medal.
had that gold, almost.
Really close. They played fantastic, and now she's got her team in really good position on the female side. And then the men curlers have been fantastic. They've ripped off 3 in a row and beat a couple really good teams to get there. So, and the hockey teams, men and women's, look fantastic. So,
Yeah.
a lot of cool medals coming in this week.
I think in hockey, we're on a collision course with Canada. I don't know if we can
Mhm.
beat them, but I think if anybody could beat them, it's us.
Yeah. This team's playing particularly well. I think they're very tight,
Yeah, we smashed Germany.
and they just have a lot of good players on this team. A lot of them are kind of lunch pail guys, but they're really important, and they
You
seem
know
to have
what?
a chemistry together. They're leaving passes for each other, blind passes and stuff for goals.
We're,
And
we're faster skaters than the European teams,
mhm, I agree.
and we're scrappy. So not only are we more talented, but we're scrappier. So
Mhm.
I do think we're probably the second best team in the world. I think Canadians are probably going to give us our medicine, but um, I- I'll take our chances in that one. You know, I'm
In
not
terms of the break,
overconfident or anything, but
in terms of the breakout star for these Olympics, I think you have him behind you right now, Jordan Stoltz. We knew he was
yep,
incredible, but even the other Olympic athletes are in awe of this guy. It's pretty wild to watch. Everyone wants to shake
yeah,
his hand and take pictures with him. He's got 2 golds already. He's got 2 more events. He could potentially walk away with 4 golds if he wins all 4 races. So he currently, right now, as it stands, is the breakout winner in terms of the U.S. side.
Listen, I went back to my notes on Jordan Stoltz from before the Olympics started, and I had that he's from Wisconsin. He has the world record in the 1,000 meter. He's the youngest world champion, and he's won 43 World Cup medals. So, I mean, the fact that he's coming out and just dominating is not surprising.
Really cool clip of him and Eric Heiden today. Heiden, of course, he and his sister were dominant 40 years ago, and he
Yeah,
was there in Cortina and was shaking his hand, and he was in awe of him, and he was taking a picture with him, and he got to hold the medal. He was saying what makes him different to all the other skaters. It's really the corners. He said the corners is where these guys either come in first or lag behind. And he said he's
yeah,
never seen a skater with better corners than Jordan Stoltz. He's that good in the corners. And for instance, he was behind the Dutch guy in that race, and he made it up in the corner.
yeah.
So
Oh yeah, no, and he left him in the dust at the end. Like he had an extra gear that he could go to.
yeah, it was
And
really
the
exciting.
Dutch guy seemed like he just going into that final lap, he had him kind of a little under control, and he just couldn't handle that fifth gear that Stolz has. So it's pretty
Some
exciting.
other some other Americans that have really burst onto the scene. You have Breezy Johnson, who got the gold in the
Yeah.
downhill in the race that everyone thought Lindsey Vonn was going to win.
Hmm.
And then right after the race, and she had been announced the gold medal winner, her boyfriend gets down on one knee and proposes to her. So of course they got that
Yeah,
on
that was
camera.
pretty
That
wild.
was a huge moment for her. So that was huge. And then the ice dancers, I think they have become a huge darling of the American public, even though they got
Hmm.
the silver in very mysterious circumstances with a French judge overscoring the French team. So we'll get into
And underscoring the American. Yeah.
all that drama, but they've been really kind of the darlings on the skating side for the Americans,
Yeah.
along with Ilya. So, are you
Yeah, I
ready
think Breeze.
to you
What's
ready
that?
to get into the material for tonight?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go check it out. All right, let's do a call out to our sponsor for tonight, and that's Academy Sports. We love Academy Sports. We go there all the time. Robbie, what do you think of Academy?
Love Academy Sports. They're incredible for all our sports needs. The boys are constantly needing upgrades. I'm going to need to go there next week probably to get baseball cleats. But we just got bikes from there and for their birthday. So I'll tell you what, they have everything we need. They have good prices, really good selection. Everything in there is really cool, and I love getting ideas for. I got an idea for your. You just had your birthday celebration at the Super Bowl party, and we got you a cooler. So it's a fantastic place. It's for all your sporting needs and all kinds of different parts of your life. Can get really good gear there. So. I recommend it very highly.
I love Academy. I go there. I like to just kind of poke around, and there's all kinds of cool departments. I've got my last 2 pairs of shoes there. Got my running shoes and my pickleball shoes, And it's just a great place to go. Go check out your Academy sports locally or check out academy.com. You can order online and do it today. Have a great one.
Hey.
All right, so this is our episode 113 weekend recap. Winter Olympics at the midpoint. We talked about a couple of these athletes already. Jordan Stoltz on the top left there. To the right, the two Corys, which I think is just hilarious that they're both Corey, but they're spelled differently. Pulling home the silver in curling. Breezy Johnson, we mentioned, the ice dancing pair, and we'll get into that controversy here in a minute, but they've become really America's darling on the ice. The skating team won gold for the U.S. That was the team competition, so that was really cool. They led off with a gold medal at the beginning of the week. And then Ilya, we know everyone has been fascinated with the quad god and the things he can do. He can do things no one else can do on the ice by far. And so they're calling the fact that he did not win the gold medal the biggest upset in skating history. And I don't know about that, but I think it's pretty close.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
The fact that he's young.
Yeah, he's 21 years old.
Gonna get you.
And he admitted that he got nervous, and I think it's pretty normal for a kid that young that, was
It was interesting. It was interesting the way
position.
he said it. It wasn't that he was so nervous, it's that he had doubts. Right before he fell, he started having all these doubts in his head just out of nowhere. It's like he didn't feel confident for a second and he just started to fall apart. So that's the pressure, That's where you come back at a future Olympics and you kind of drive it home and you overcome it because all the training you're going to do gets your mind mentally ready for that moment.
What's
again
amazing is the camera
pressure
can't
comes.
stay off him because during practice he does flips and turns and things that no one's ever seen before. Like he had planned 8 quads in his program, which is and no one else.
He's
no
the
one
only
even did
he's the
one.
only one who can do a quad, which is a quadruple axle, which is 4.5 turns. He's the only one who can do that. He also is the only one right now doing flip, where he does a backflip and he lands on the ice while he's skating, and that's been banned for 50 years because it's so dangerous. So he's doing things that are so difficult that of course he's going to fall. Of course he's going to stumble sometimes because he's pushing the limits. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to push the limits, I love it. Like I say, go for it and then fall sometimes. It's
I
okay.
love it too.
Yeah.
And
I
he's
don't
already
want you
said
to play it safe, and get the medal. It's not. I want to see what you can do.
he'll be back in 4 years. He'll be 25. He'll be more mature. He won't be as nervous this time.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
They did ask him to skate in the last event, which is always a traditional.
It's a showcase.
It's called the Olympic Exhibition Gala, and
Yes.
that's on the 21st of February. That's sort of to finish the Olympics. It's
Right.
just like a extravaganza for skating, and they handpicked him to skate. So he'll be able to showcase his talents. But yeah, he's done competing.
So other interesting things that happened this Olympics, we had the first female ever to win in a cross-country race. She got the bronze. Diggins, and that was a huge moment for the U.S.
Jesse
It's not a sport we're usually very good in, but she said she was the happiest bronze medalist in Olympic history. Because, you're up against Swedes and Norwegians and Finnish, and the fact that she was able to pull that off and get, on the podium was pretty impressive. And then we had a man who also got a bronze in cross-country skiing, so that was really exciting. So, I don't know. It feels like we're breaking through in a lot of sports we're not very good at usually. We're starting to get
I'd like to see us be able to compete in the bobsled, skeleton world. There's some of the events that we're just nowhere to be found.
Right.
And cross country skiing tends to be one of those as well.
We had our UVA girl compete, Kai, and she came in 11th, but she actually had a pretty decent showing in skeleton, I thought. I watched that. She was actually out front for a while, but just got left in the dust by the Austrians and the Germans and the Swiss.
The Swiss. Yeah, the Swiss.
Yeah. But I'm really, really proud of her. She went there and competed hard, and she got 11th. So,
yeah.
Let's take a look at the medal count as of today. Norway sitting in 24 at number 1. To be expected, a country of 5.5 million to just dominate winter every year. Italy, surprisingly, and we talked about this in our preview show.
Not surprisingly.
The home country would get a bump. They are 1 medal below their greatest finish ever, and they've got a whole week left.
I
And so,
predicted it. I thought you
yeah,
predicted it too, but
I did,
uh,
I
I
did, but
I said Italy's going to have a
but
tremendous medal
I think
count.
this is even more than we expected. Is my point. Is they're already one medal short of their greatest ever, and
I
there's a
thought they'd be top five.
lot of events left. So
Yeah.
United
Oh, we'll
States
see.
was 17, number three. They're sitting really good. They're actually ahead of pace compared to 4 years ago.
Yeah, we got a lot of silvers.
Sweden with 11. France sitting at 15, Austria 13, Germany 13. You can see all those countries in the middle that are all just
Hmm.
really good at winter sports. Netherlands, Switzerland. Japan's had a remarkable Winter Olympics, I thought.
Yeah.
And what's interesting, and apparently there's a huge scandal in China right now, is they only have two medals in these Olympics, and they were projected to be fifth or sixth.
Mm.
And they've been missing the podium in virtually every sport they're good at, including all the half pipe events and all the skiing events. And apparently, there's a lot of angst and really unhappy people back in China right now about why they're performing so poorly in these Olympics. So, do you have any theory
Mm.
on that? Why are they falling off?
I don't. I really don't know.
They got two medals in this Olympics so far.
I wouldn't think that the winter would be their strong suit. Um,
But four
I
years
would
ago, they
think.
came in fifth. So, I mean, and they have
No, I know.
1.4 billion people.
If you were to ask me where do I think they rank, I'd say somewhere in the top 10, but I wouldn't put them in the top five.
I mean, they're way below Japan and South
Yeah,
Korea, as an
yeah.
example.
They're
From an,
underperforming. There's no
yeah,
doubt. I'm just not sure why.
yeah. Even Australia is having a better Winter Olympics. So
I
another
know.
cool story: Brazil won their first skiing medal ever,
Yeah. It was the
and
first
and he
skiing medal ever won by someone from South America.
and he won the gold. And it was
It's
in
cool.
really
Yeah.
flamboyant style.
Good for him,
Yeah.
you know.
So, any take on the medal count right now? I know this will look very different in a week when we wrap it up again, but
I think the US is poised they're in some final rounds of a lot of different events. So I'm hoping we can get a bunch of medals coming up. Even if it's not gold, I mean, obviously we want gold, but I think I'm kind of blown away by Norway. I know they're always good in events, but they're good in everything. Like they're good in every winter event,
yeah,
it
I mean,
seems
our
like.
curling team beat them today 10-8. It was like a really close game, and our curling teams are
Yeah,
playing really well. I mean, they're good in
right.
everything. You're right. It is
They're
true.
good at everything, snow related, ski related. They're just dominating in women's. They're super athletic people. We talked about that last time, but I wouldn't have guessed that they'd be so dominant overall, you know?
I agree.
I,
So speaking of Norway and the really breakout star of these Olympics so far, and that's this guy Klæbo from Norway.
mhm.
And he has 4 golds already, and he has a real shot at 2 more races where he can have 6 total coming out of these Olympics, which would be the
Yeah.
most ever. Actually, no one's ever won 5 before. So if he gets 6, it's going to be
Well,
kind of like the Michael Phelps of Winter Olympics.
so no, he won his ninth Olympic medal overall,
Right,
which
right,
is the most of all time in winter. Michael
right,
Phelps has 23 in summer,
right.
but yeah, Klæbo has the most ever in a winter Olympics, and like you said, he has two more events to go.
So after
Um,
he won his first 2, I had to go out and watch the highlights of this guy, and I'm just
yeah,
flabbergasted. We know how great the Norwegian athletes are. We saw it
yeah,
ourselves,
yeah, we
but
did.
this guy's like on the next level above that
Yeah.
in
Well,
terms of cross country skiing. Yeah,
He's the Michael Phelps of skiing.
he's like a machine. It's
Yeah,
just unbelievable.
yeah.
So you look below him. The only 3 medal guy is Von Allman from Switzerland, and then there's a bunch of 2 medal people.
Who
Carlson
was
from
it who was
Sweden.
doing that cross country skiing where he was skiing 11 miles an hour uphill?
That was
That was
Klæbo.
Klæbo? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
11 miles an hour he's skiing uphill.
Another guy who's really broken out is this guy Previc from Slovenia. He's won
Mhm.
2 golds already. Apparently,
Yeah,
that country's just going insane over this guy. Can you imagine Slovenia? How excited they are
yeah.
about these 2 medals.
So
You got
good.
2 Italy, 2 medalers there in the middle, and
Hmm.
then Van Wout from Netherlands, and then of course Stoltz. We talked about the breakout guy for the U.S. this year.
Hmm.
A lot of great athletes on this list. So
Oh
thoughts
yeah.
about these breakout stars for
We're
these
seeing
countries?
some amazing performances from people all over the world. It's very exciting to watch. how they're able to do things like we always talk about. Show me something that I can't do, and not just slightly faster, but just dramatically better than I could even dream of doing.
Mhm.
And we're seeing a lot of that here. It's pretty cool.
We don't really talk about Slovenia as a skiing country, but it is. I mean, you remember when we were kids,
Yeah,
we used to ski in Slovenia, and it's a
yeah, we
ski
did.
country all the way.
That
So
was
not that surprising you'd get a champion from there.
that was Triglav, right? The three heads
Krajinska
mountain,
Gora. Krajinska
Kranjska.
Gora. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we learned to ski.
Really impressive to see these
Slovenia.
guys. And I'm interested when we do our wrap up show next Monday, what this medal count's going to look like. We'll see.
Hopefully, we can bring home some medals in these final rounds.
So here's where the medals are coming for Team USA. Freestyle skiing, we got 5, alpine skiing 3, speed skating 2 with Stoltz, figure skating 2, cross country skiing, we got the 2 I talked about, the silver and the bronze. What a great achievement that is for us when we're not really a cross country skiing power. We have the
Yeah.
1 medal in curling and hopefully some more coming. Snowboarding and luge. And I would say snowboarding is a little bit light compared to what we were expecting. We're expecting the
I think
US
so
to have
too.
much more
That's been a
power.
little disappointing. I
Yeah,
think the speed skating's a little disappointing.
it is. It
I
is for
think the
sure.
U.S. Losing who was it? Aaron
Jackson.
Jackson lost. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was disappointing. I wanted
Yep.
her to at least medal, but
It's amazing that we're a little ahead of pace when we've had some real disappointing performances where we expected
yeah,
medals. So it's
yeah.
interesting. This is where the medals are coming from on the map. Kind of an interesting look all over the place. Oregon, California, of course, all the countries there in the middle, Colorado, Michigan, Wisconsin,
Hmm.
Texas. That's kind of interesting. Coming out of the Northeast, a couple people. So really fun to track where all
Scattered,
these
really,
medals are coming from. Yeah, really scattered.
pretty spread out.
Kind of cool. One from Virginia. That's Ilya, of course.
Yeah.
So a lot of fun to watch that.
Ilya had a huge part in the team winning gold. So he should be really proud of his performance there.
No, he 100%.
Yeah, he
100%.
he
He earned it.
saved them. He
He
saved
did.
them,
He
saved
did.
the team. So he should really be proud of that gold medal.
Agreed. So let's look at each individual sport. Freestyle skiing, we had the 5 medals. We have Elizabeth Lemley, who's really become a major star in these Olympics.
Hmm.
And right behind her was Jalen Koff. So both of them won gold, silver in that event, which was really cool. And then
Yeah.
Koff the next day went and got the silver in the dual moguls, which was super cool with Elizabeth Lemley.
Hmm.
And then Alexandra Hall got the men's slope style, which was pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
So it looks like
Yeah, you got
freestyle
the silver.
skiing, we have a lot of really great entrance into this particular sport.
Yeah, I think that's one of those ones that we really compete well in overall.
And a lot of these people all train in Colorado, which is a really great place for
The
freestyle.
moguls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alpine skiing, we had the Breezy Johnson. You see the picture there to the right of Breezy getting her recognition from her big race in the one
Hmm.
that she wasn't really even expected to be on the podium. So it was kind of a surprise that she got gold.
Yeah.
The men's, we got Ryan Cochran Siegel. He was actually projected to possibly win that race, and he came really close to doing so and got silver. But he's a really impressive guy, too. I saw the little bit on him. And the amount of training that he does on a weekly and daily basis is pretty incredible. What you have to do to be an Olympic athlete. And then we got the bronze in women's team combined. And that was Wiles and Molson.
Hmm.
So again, the skiing events have been really good to the U.S. team so far. We'll see how it goes this week. Speed skating course, Jordan in the 500 and the 1,000 with 2 events coming. So we'll see how he does in those 2 events. It'd be really sweet to see him come in with 4 golds. How
That would be
awesome
nice.
would that be? And then you're going to see him on the Wheaties box.
Yeah.
He really feels like that kind of breakout athlete this year. Figure
They'll go on
skating.
Joe Rogan or something.
Yeah, exactly. He'll be on a bunch of different shows and everything.
Yeah.
Figure skating, of course, the United States won the mixed team event. You just mentioned Ilya was a big part of that. And then we had the controversial Madison Chalk, Evan Bates mixed ice dance, where most experts who watched that competition felt like they were the winners. And we'll get
Hmm.
into what that controversy is. But They really captured the hearts of the country. They really are fantastic.
And by the way, the U.S. figure skating decided not to appeal.
Right.
So it is what it is. Now it'll just sit as a controversy, but
That's
oh
right.
well.
I think it was pretty clear they were the best, but you never
Yeah,
know.
I mean, yeah.
It's a subjective sport, and it's really tough to make that judgment. So
But in retrospect, it's certainly hard to defend the way the French judge scored it.
that's right. Cross country skiing, of course, we already talked about Ben Ogden and Jesse Diggins. What an incredible performance for the two of them
Hmm.
to put U.S. on the map in cross country skiing. And then, of course, curling, we have a lot of good teams coming. But the first week, we had Corey and Corey take the mixed double silver and came really close, essentially one shot away from winning
Yeah,
the gold.
it came down to a last shot.
So they've really captured the hearts of Americans, too. It's been really cool to see
Yeah,
these two very normal people. One of them works in a lab and one works in a financial center. So they're
yeah,
just
it's
like
pretty cool
normal
that
people with normal jobs,
they helped train uh Jason Kelsey and his wife before the Olympics started.
And did you see Jason Kelce had his brother's face on his helmet?
I did when he did no, but no, he
Pretty
had a
funny.
helmet on when he did bobsledding today
Yeah,
or yesterday, today or yesterday.
super cool.
But yeah, it was cool. They all put him in. They put him in near the front. They
Hmm.
loaded them all in, and then the guys ran the sled instead of running and jumping in it.
Right,
They the team jumped in with him and sat in it, and then they pushed the sled, and
that's right.
Jason got to go and experience that.
So
I
I've
could
been watching
relate.
every
It
single.
was pretty wild.
I love all those stories that are kind of off ice. All the ones with Snoop trying every single event, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
been a lot of fun to watch. Have you been watching a lot of the curling? I've watched every match for US.
yeah. I've watched a lot of the curling. I've watched a lot of the biathlon. I've seen a lot of
Biathlon's
the.
awesome. I do love that.
I've made time to make sure I'm watching some downhill, some a lot of the hockey, not just the
Mhm.
U.S. but a lot of the countries.
Right,
And Team Canada's scary. And
they are.
then the uh, snowboard snowboard
Cross.
cross. That one is so cool. I love it. So yeah, I've seen a lot of these events. Speed skating has been cool. I've watched ice dancing. Yeah.
So speaking of snowboard, Chloe Kim gets the silver. She had gotten the gold in 2022 and 2018. She was a two-time gold medalist in this event and was expected to win it again this time and gets knocked off by the South Korean girl who said that the only reason she got into the sport in the first place was because of Chloe Kim and that she's her idol. So how do you think that felt to knock off your idol and win the gold medal? I mean, my goodness.
Amazing. Yeah. So
And she's a
proud.
lot younger than Chloe. What was interesting is Chloe is dating Garrett from the Browns, and
Yeah, did you see that hilarious meme about Chloe Kim won two
yeah,
Olympic medals and all these world championships and everything, and then
and
she starts
golds. Yeah,
dating a Cleveland Brown and starts losing,
yeah, I
getting
saw
second.
that. Miles
It's so
Garrett.
bad. So bad. It's
But you know
funny
what?
though.
They seem like a good couple. They said that they were
Yeah.
best friends at first before they started dating. They were just really good friends.
Yeah, that's
And
cool.
he's there and he's having a blast, man. It's his off season. He's just enjoying like a fan. So
Yeah.
she's an incredible champion, though. I mean, silver's not a bad thing when you have the kind of career she's had.
Oh, no doubt.
And then we've had one medal in luge so far. There's more events coming this week, but you can see we had the bronze medal in luge as well.
Yeah, that's
Well,
good because we rarely are very competitive in luge.
I really like to see
That's
us get more sliding medals. I don't know what we need to
me
do.
too.
We have
I
all the
don't know.
best equipment. I'm
We
not
need
sure.
to look at the department that does that. I think it was some I saw a story about how um the it wasn't luge. It was skeleton, I guess, where the US had the best equipment
Right,
and what team were they training with? It was Germany or Switzerland or something. And they said, we're not going to be able to beat the US on their equipment.
right.
So they said, go study it and come back with a solution on how we can beat them. And they decided, they found out that they changed the style of running with both hands on it and then jumping onto it. You just have your right hand on the left handle, and you're running with one hand on it, and it gives you a more natural sprinting motion. And they said that it could knock off some time, and so they came up with a way to beat the American that was training the Americans that were training on the better equipment.
Just watching the men's 4 relay in cross country skiing. Guess who just won the gold?
Norway.
Norway. I'm surprised.
Not at all. And Sweden second, probably.
Talk about some of the personalities that have come out of this Olympics. You have this kid Oldenburg for the men's curling team.
Yeah,
He's hilarious, and he's actually pretty
funny.
jacked too, but he's kind of geeky and reminds a lot of people of the kind of geeky guy we had on the Summer Olympics team in Paris, who was the pommel horse guy. That was the only thing he did was the pommel horse.
Yeah.
And the two of them have been communicating, and they showed a FaceTime video with the two of them talking about how they resemble each other and they really kind of have kindred spirits. So, what are your thoughts about this kid Oldenburg for Team USA?
I mean, he's pretty interesting guy. He does a lot of cool things while he's not playing. Um, he does yo-yos and all kinds of
Yeah,
interesting things to keep his mind busy
he
while he's
reminds me of
waiting.
my son Ashton, who's a little bit like that. He always has to have something he's working on, like Rubik's
Yeah,
Cube, and
yeah.
yeah, he's really really smart kid. But I tell you, he's jacked, man. He's quite an athlete.
Decent, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. Decent.
yeah, for a curling player. So to the right of him is Breezy Johnson. That's the moment right after she won the gold and she got proposed to by her boyfriend. Now she's engaged. She's
Good
become
for
kind
her.
of really
She's
heartwarming.
done well, you know. She's
She
done
really
really
has.
well.
She has. To the right of that's Chalk and Bates, who really captured the country's heart, and everyone feels like got jobbed with the
I
final
love
scoring.
that performance, by the way.
It was
Did you
amazing,
see it?
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did.
she was like a bull and I mean he was a bull and she was a matador
Right.
and with her
Yeah,
with her dress that came out like a red cape or whatever. It was pretty
that's
cool.
true. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it
were
was good.
fantastic. They were
They
really
were.
fantastic. To the bottom left is Austin Matthews. There are a lot of people that have become big fans of his this week. He's the captain of the
Yeah,
team. He
he's
actually
great.
had 2 goals and assists today against Germany.
Yeah, they were so
And,
good.
what are your thoughts about Austin Matthews?
He's been fantastic leader. He gives them a lot of intensity. This team is more intense than American teams I've seen in a while. They're going to have to be strong mentally if they're going to go up against these best teams in the world. And they're not backing down. They want to fight.
These are lunch
They
pail
want to
guys.
throw gloves. They're fast skaters. They're
Yeah,
talented. They're hitters. They're out skating everybody else. I wouldn't have guessed that. I would have
me
thought they're
too.
going to be kind of reliant on their NHL players' skill level to be higher. They look like they want it more than the other teams. You
It's
know,
true. It's
I,
true.
I I wouldn't have predicted that.
I think they really want Canada. They do.
They do.
It doesn't
They
mean they
do.
can beat them, but they want them,
They
which I
want a
like
shot
that.
at it.
I like
And if
that.
they lose, then they lose. But
Yeah.
they don't want Canada to get knocked off before they get them.
He's an impressive player, man. 2 goals and assists today. That was a sweet
Oh, he's
performance.
fantastic.
To the right of that is Snoop
He's
Dogg.
scrappy too. He was taking on multiple defenders at the same time and pushing and like he's scrappy. And
He
he
is.
he goes nose first into the mess and the team loves it. They respond really well to it.
To the right of him is Snoop Dogg, who's been everywhere in this Olympics. He's kind of like the TV personality for NBC, and
Yeah.
I think he's tried about every sport now. He said the only one he refused to try was the half pipe, which I can understand. He's a little older now. Did you know he's
Can't
61?
see him doing bobsled either.
Yeah, he did the
Or
bobsled.
ski jump.
He did a
Ski
run.
jump.
Yeah, I don't know about
He
ski
did?
jump. Yeah, he did a bobsled run. He tried the luge,
Wow.
but he said he would never do half pipe. He said that looked way too dangerous, which
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I can see that.
yeah.
So, but
Well, he's hilarious. He definitely
he's
is
been
makes
fun.
it
He's been fun.
entertaining, no question.
Imagine getting paid $10 million to go to the Olympics, fully paid by NBC, and just go have fun with all the athletes. I mean, my
That's
goodness,
that's what
$10
he's getting
million.
paid.
Yeah, $10 million to go
You're
like
kidding.
hang around and try all these sports
You're
and do
kidding.
interviews with people. No, no.
Wow.
So
I didn't hear that.
a $10 million pay, and then you get a free trip to Italy. I mean, it sounds pretty good to me.
Oh man, I do it for free. Sports guys will do it for free. Just
Yep.
get us over there.
Give us a call. To the right of that, Christine Brennan said on Mellon, and as big an upset in sports as we've probably ever seen with his
I
two
don't think
falls and
so.
lawn program. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's too far. I think he he stumbled. It reminds me kind of Gabby, U.S. Olympic team gymnastics.
Oh, yeah,
It's you can buckle under the pressure.
it's true. 100%. It is a
Yeah.
pretty big upset, though. I mean, he was cruising. He was
Yeah.
way out in
Yeah.
front in the short program. I mean, he was
But
really
the
well.
biggest I've ever seen, I can't say that.
Yeah, it seems a little bit over the top, but
21-year-old got the pressure got to him. I mean, I
this
get
was
it.
shocking. I mean, he's been practicing for 4 years for these jumps, and it was
It doesn't
shocking.
shock me at all, and I'll tell you why. He's doing things that no one else can do, um, and his skill level is so high that he's pushing it on every single routine. And if you do that, you're going to fall eventually. It
Right.
might not happen in the gold medal round. If you do enough events, you're gonna fall. There's a reason why people aren't doing these dangerous moves. It's because they can go so wrong, you know?
It's true.
I'm not surprised that he stumbled.
So another guy who's captured everyone's hearts is Maxim, who's there to the right. He's got
Hmm.
a Russian
Maxim
name, but
Noma.
his two parents were Russian skaters and Olympians, and both died in a airplane crash on American Airlines last year, right over the Potomac River, as most people remember. And so,
Yeah,
what an incredible
the
moment there as
military
he was
helicopter hit it.
holding their picture up and just crying, and the whole country immediately was in his corner after that one. So, what do you think of that story, man? What an incredible story!
But he
Thoughts?
did an amazing performance in singles men's, and that's when he held that up. I watched it, and
What do you
it
think
was
about
very good.
his kind of comeback story here? I mean, that's a lot to get over
Oh,
mentally. You know?
going in, that was one we highlighted
Yeah,
before the Olympics started. Yeah, he's a very interesting guy. They his parents had a skating academy, and they were flying with a lot of people from USA Skating. So it's kind of miraculous that this many good skaters could come out of USA Skating when we lost so many on that plane. But what happened was his parents were running the academy, and when they died, he zoomed in there and took it over, and he's teaching it now. And so what's cool is all his students were watching when he did his performance. It was very cool.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
He's
They
really
had
an
a
impressive
they
guy.
had cameras watching the students watching him do his performance.
He's
So
really an
he's
impressive
very
guy.
very inspirational. Yeah, he wasn't even sure if he wanted to skate anymore.
Obviously, Corey and Corey, I could have put them on here as
Corey and
well.
Corey, Chloe Kim, Jessie Diggins with writing the book about her eating disorder, very inspirational, hard worker. Um,
Yep,
I
pretty
think
cool.
Erin Jackson started out really, really well, and I
Right.
think she had a tough day.
She did.
Um, she got fifth, I believe it was,
Right.
and but I think she'll be back,
I do too.
and
She's a fantastic skater.
yeah, and I think that the U.S. Curling has been exceptionally good. We beat we beat the Chinese.
Yep.
Um,
On an incredible last shot, probably the nicest
last shot,
curl shot
incredible.
I've ever seen.
The
It was
two
amazing.
Corys got silver, but almost beat the Swedes.
Right.
And men's just did really well. So
Yeah, they won three
I'm
straight. Yep.
very, very excited about U.S. curling. It's good.
All right, so some Olympic controversies, Robbie, and these aren't all the ones, but these are the big ones. First one is the geopolitical security concerns. Games are operating without official Russian and Belarusian flags or athletes. And there's a lot of security due to high security threats all around the world right now, including
Hmm.
cyber attacks and physical attacks. So, what's your thought about the security aspect of these games being really, really high security, and then also the fact that we don't have Russian and Belarusian athletes?
I think it's too bad that we haven't been able to wind up and get rid of that war in Ukraine and just find a way to the peace table and get that under control so that Russians can get back in the community of nations and get back to competing. It's better to have all the best teams there, but I understand completely why they're being shunned because it's an outrageous war that's going on. Um, I don't want to do any blame or anything like that, but it should be over. Like it should be finished.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't know too many people who don't agree with that. That we should still have the level of killing that's going on. It just doesn't make sense.
I think they're just
Um,
not going to let them in until the Ukraine war is over. That's
no, that's
basically
right.
the
That's
decision
right.
they've made. Yeah.
So they're using whatever leverage they have to make them not part of the community of nations while they're behaving like that. And again, it's not all their fault. There's been plenty of back and forth and lots of disastrous attacks on both sides. It's a humanitarian crisis, but hopefully that'll wind up soon, and we'll get back to the Russians being back in, and I think it's better with all the countries represented. It's more fun.
Yeah, we want all the
Um,
nations for sure.
yeah, I mean, they'd have a good hockey team. So,
Yeah,
um,
100%.
but some things are more important than the sporting events,
My
and you
feeling
use the
is
Olympics.
that the Olympics is not the same when there's some kind of boycott or some teams that aren't
Yeah,
included, and we
that's
haven't
right.
had that in a long time. Every Olympics in really the last 30 years have been some team or two or three
That's
that
right.
are being excluded, and so that's unfortunate that we
It
have that
is. I don't. It is
geopolitics
unfortunate.
being involved. Yeah.
It's better when the countries are not shunning each other in the world games, and that they can just use whatever international leverage other than the Olympics. But I understand it.
The next scandal was the ice dancing judging scandal. There was lawsuits flying and injunctions flying and all kinds of stuff. And eventually, the Americans backed off and decided not to go forward with it
Hmm.
around the French judges' really high scoring of the French team and really low scoring of the American team. And this score was so close that really one judge could make the difference. And
Yeah,
thoughts on if there was bias there, what they could do to try to take some of that out of this sport. It just seems like the subjectivity is really starting to kill the sport.
yeah. I mean, I think subjectivity's always been there. Back when the Soviet judge would always give Americans the lowest score possible. I mean, it was certainly something going on back then. But yeah, this was pretty egregious. I mean, the French team did a good job, but they had some stumbles in their twizzies, I guess they're called, certain moves
Mhm.
that weren't in sync. I saw pictures where she was on the ice, he was in the air. They weren't even close to in sync, and they had some mess ups. And the Americans did a flawless program. So
Mhm.
it it doesn't make sense why the French judge would score the Americans lower than everyone else and their own higher than everyone else when you could make the case in an unbiased setting that the French had a few little errors that you could knock off some points for, and the
Mhm.
Americans was relatively flawless. And it shouldn't have happened, but it is what it is. We'll take the silver, I guess.
Take the silver and know that they were the best. That's where we are
Yeah,
because there's always going to be some politics in Olympics, unfortunately.
yeah.
So this was a scandal. I mean, the ice dancing, I think they've got to figure out a way to try to get rid of some of that.
I
Uh,
think you shouldn't have you
they
shouldn't
were,
have
what they were recommending is add two more judges to the panel next time and
throw out the lowest.
throw out the highest and lowest
Yeah,
and do
yeah,
something like
maybe.
that. And maybe you get a
Either
little,
do that or you have to recuse yourself from your country's score or something.
maybe, yeah. There's got to
Because
be a
in
way
this
to
case,
do it.
even if the French judge had given the American lower, they couldn't have boosted their own country with a high score.
There has to be a
And
way
that,
to do it. Yeah.
yeah.
So another big scandal: athlete protests and equipment protests. There was a Ukrainian skeleton racer who got disqualified and was unable to race because on his helmet he had some of the victims of the Ukrainian war. He was trying to honor those war victims, but apparently that was against Olympic code. You cannot have that type of symbol on there. You could have one honoring your country or something like that, but not fasces or things like that. Like for instance, the Jason Kelsey one that he wore would have been illegal with his brother's face on it.
Hmm.
So, what is your thought about that scandal? And couldn't they have found a way around this? I mean, it just seemed like
I
it
don't
was
know. I mean, they were very clear about it going in, and he violated the policy.
Well, and
I
he kept
understand that.
refusing not to wear it. He said, I'm going to wear it. And they kept saying, just
Yeah,
wear it
yeah.
in the
So
helmet and you can run, you know?
I think he could have worn it on TV. He could have worn it around. He didn't have to. He didn't have to wear it and not compete. Like I don't know that not competing gets you very much.
I mean, they basically were begging with him, like, just wear a different helmet for the race and then put that on at the end or something.
Right, right.
Yeah, and he wouldn't do it. So,
I'm a free speech guy, but I think you also have to live by the rules. And by the way, I haven't given this a lot of thought because I don't live in that world of of uh, sled slash skeleton slash bobsled, all that. Those people have a very large working knowledge of the elements of it, but so I don't have that knowledge. But it seems to me like there could be some good reasons why you don't want to just free for all on these helmets, you know?
well, no,
So
they had a rule that was printed 2 years before the Olympics that everyone knew about.
right.
This is not like a secret. It wasn't
Well,
something that was decided last week.
no, I know. What I'm
And
saying is,
and
no, what I'm
he's just as much to blame here because he would not back
correct.
down, you know.
That's right. What I'm saying is I could see a world where everyone just coming in willy-nilly with lots of political statements and this and that could become a problem. So, I don't know. I don't know enough about it. Seems too bad that they weren't able to talk him out of that. But it is what it is. It was a rule that he violated and he didn't get to race.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. The other part of that controversy is around copyright issues with music. Apparently, there were a couple figure skating events where the athletes went ahead and performed and didn't get permission from the musicians that they were doing
Hmm.
the performance to. And apparently, there's been injunctions flying around and lawsuits and saying you can't use that in the end of this Olympics event. And been a lot of kind of upset musicians. What are your thoughts about that? About them not getting permission?
I can understand that a little bit. When you work really hard to make your music and you want to feel like you own it, you want people to enjoy the music, but you don't necessarily want them to use it for their advantage.
Well, and
So I
all it
can
takes
see
is to
why
send them a
you'd be,
letter. All it takes is to send them a letter. Have your lawyer send them a letter. Hey, can we use your music in our program? You know, it's
yeah, but
pretty simple.
sometimes they say no, and then what? No, I can understand why these artists would be very protective of their music. Um, I probably wouldn't be. I'd be proud of it. The more, publicity I got for my music, the happier I'd be because, it's a difficult industry to be in. But it's making art and you want as much people to enjoy your art as possible. I'd be all for it. If I wrote a song that they wanted to use, the answer would be yes. You know, but
Right,
I get
right.
it. You got to get permission, you got to do the right things, and if not, I'm sure that they all have lawyers.
It's true. So the next one is Canada's curling team. First, they were accused by Sweden for double touching at the release zone on the curling match, and then Canada went back and accused them of filming their practice sessions in violation and cheating allegations both directions. There was almost a shoving match and a yelling match. There was dropping F bombs. What was your thought about this whole situation? It was really unfortunate for curling.
I think it's hilarious.
It
The
is funny, but
two of some of the most, I mean, other than Switzerland, most neutral countries in the world,
that don't
that
fight.
are ready to throw down
Yeah,
over curling. I love it. No, I mean, I see the point of the Swedes being upset. The Canadian clearly had his finger on it after he had released it,
he
and he
did
was
double touch. Yeah, he
pushing it
did.
with his finger. And then he denied it, and then he threw F-bombs at the other guy. He got warned that he's not supposed to talk to the competitors that way. And then I have no idea if Canada was wrongfully recorded by Sweden, but it feels a little bit like they're trying to take the pressure off by accusing Sweden back of something. I don't know. I don't know
Well,
if that's right,
apparently
but
both teams are now lawyering up, and you're going to have some kind of dispute in the international court. And I don't know. It just seems like this could have been diffused. It seems a little
yeah,
silly.
it's kind of tragic because I think both these countries are some of the best countries in the world, two of the top more a admirable countries in the world, and the way they're acting over this is not admirable. So, but
That's true.
it's not an indictment on their country. It's just you would think that Canada and Sweden would be far more likely to be able to get along with inside the world community than being a
It
dust
is
up.
kind of
But
hilarious that it was these two
yeah,
countries because they're two such neutral countries that would
yeah,
never
I
go to
love it.
war over anything.
No, but they were willing
Uh,
to fight like crazy and
yeah,
threaten each other at
over
curling.
curling. So this next one was Norway's Sturla Holm. He posed on the podium and got his medal, bronze, in the biathlon during the Cortina Olympics. And then right afterwards, in a very emotional interview, admitted that he had cheated on his girlfriend 3 months prior and that he hadn't told her yet. And that he needed to talk to her and he felt really bad about it. I don't know why he decided the Olympic platform was the place to confess, but
Huge mistake.
what was your thought about this crying confession on camera
I
in
think it was
front
a
of
huge
millions
mistake
and
to
billions of people? Yeah.
air your dirty laundry in front of billions of people and have no idea how she's going to react. And then
It
she
just
told him to
embarrasses
go.
his girlfriend, right? I mean, that's the
Well,
reality.
yeah, she said I didn't want this kind of publicity, and then she told him to go pound sand. So that did not work out for him at all.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I don't
mean,
know.
I'm
This
not happy about it. Like it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing that should have been everyone allowed to heal from and move forward, not something that gets dug up and thrown across the world. And
I don't think I've
now
ever
that
seen that before. You're talking about a major athlete who just won a medal. I've never seen them have a breakdown like that
yeah,
before when
neither.
they just won a medal.
Why would you use your moment that you want to remember for the rest of your life
I
and
don't
show your
know.
grandkids? You want to show your grandkids that interview?
It was the strangest thing I've seen in a
You're
long time.
supposed to be so happy and holding up your medal, like, look what all that hard work, and here it is.
It makes me
But
realize
instead,
these guys are amazing athletes, but a lot of them don't fully understand the press, and they
yeah,
don't
they're
have
not very bright.
publicists, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, didn't handle it well, and obviously did not work out well for him, other than the
I
medal.
think he made a mistake, and he also should be let to learn from that and move forward and heal.
That's right.
Because now he made a mistake instead of, well, he made a mistake in the first place too, but
So the next
bringing it
one
up
is
was bad.
the next one is Lindsey Vonn, who was the vaunted downhill skier. This is her fourth Olympics. Has a bunch of medals and world titles. She had torn her ACL the week before the Olympics, and a lot of people were advising her not to go, but she decided to go and had a horrific crash, which she swears had nothing to do with the ACL. She swore that it
I think
really
she's right.
had nothing to
I
do with it.
think she's right.
She clipped a gate and went into a net and ended up fracturing her femur, which is like one of the worst things you can break. She's now had 4 surgeries and she's flying home to the US today, as a matter of fact.
Hmm. Yep.
But they said she almost lost her leg in the fourth surgery.
Yep.
Do you think it was worth it? She says it was worth it, but
No,
do you
wasn't
think?
worth it.
Don't you think it was bad advice to go on a torn
Mhm.
ACL?
Well, it was such a bad wipeout that it wasn't worth it. But
Yeah.
um, if she had just fallen and not gotten a medal, yeah, you give it a shot, you go for it. But such a tragic injury. It was a bad injury, really bad.
What advice was she getting from people? I wonder because I don't know.
I
I would
think
just tell her,
I think they
look,
were telling her you do you, like just you'll never regret trying and you will regret not trying. So
I
go
said
for it.
she's likely going to have a limp the rest of her life.
We'll see.
At least she kept the leg. But I don't know. I'm a huge fan of hers. I really am, and I was really hopeful for her. But when she tore the ACL, I was really hoping she wouldn't go. Yeah, I really was because I just felt like protect yourself for the long term.
I was more amazed than anything else that she was going
Yeah.
to give it a go, give it a
No,
shot.
part of me is impressed. I mean, part of me is impressed,
Yeah.
but I just felt like it wasn't a smart idea.
It took courage. It took real
Yeah.
courage to say, I'm going to do it anyway.
So the one scandal that's not on this page, but we can talk quickly about it, is the girl Gu, who is part American, part Chinese, has competed for the U.S. team before in previous Olympics and World Championships, and now competes for China in the Olympics. In both of her races, flamed out and did not medal, but is one of the biggest sports influencers in the world, apparently. Made $26 million last year as a Stanford student. And what's your thought about her and all the controversy she's stirring up? She's not really winning any events right now, but certainly she's got a lot of attention.
Well, I don't know how bad it is, but I know she had a really bad wipeout today, and I think she's hurt. I don't know. I hope not. I wish her well. I don't want to see her hurt. I understand her mom's Chinese, and so she decided to race for her mom's country of origin. So I understand that. It doesn't really bother me much.
And she decided
Um,
to because they were willing to put up a lot more money than the U.S. side was.
yeah,
You
I
know,
don't
let's
know
just
why she
be
did it.
honest. Yeah.
We can speculate that the money was the driving factor. But I think unless we know that to be a fact, it could be just that she wanted to represent her mom's country of origin, and then it ended up being China. Obviously, wanted to have somebody that good in that event, so only got money. So
No question.
yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
we'll see. I mean, she's an interesting person. She's very beautiful, and she does a
Yeah,
really good interview. She's very articulate, and she
she
has
has
a
a lot
lot.
going for her. A lot
She
going
has a
for her.
lot of
She's making.
followers. You know, her
Yeah,
Instagram and her all her different social media has millions of followers. So
yeah.
she's definitely a relevant person. But in terms of her athletic prowess, it just didn't happen this Olympics. So
She looked
along
good.
with
She looked really good doing her events.
yeah,
But I didn't see the accident today, but I heard it was pretty bad.
yeah.
I heard it was horrific. So,
And really,
uh,
she's kind of almost a meme for how China's done in these Olympics. It's really been hugely disappointing, sitting at
yeah,
two medals. They were expecting to have 15 or 16 by now.
yeah.
So, they've
And in
had,
that way, I guess we can't really complain. I think our weekend was a little disappointing, the U.S., but
yeah,
I think overall, we got off to a good start, so we're doing fine.
yep, agreed. Let's look at college basketball from the weekend. These are the top 25 games that took place. This was the big one. Texas Tech takes down Arizona. Arizona's lost two in a row now, both in overtime. This was a really great game. Watch the highlights of this one. And Arizona, of course, everyone thought was unbeatable until these last two games that they were actually taken down by really good teams. What's your
hmm
thought about Arizona? They're going to be fine, in my opinion, but what do you think?
Well, I learned more about Texas Tech in this game than I did Arizona. I don't think you're worried if you're Arizona. Taking a loss right now before all the tournaments start is probably good. Makes you a little hungry, a little angry.
That's what
Uh,
I think.
that's that's good for Arizona. Um, these losses are relatively meaningless. They just show you that you're not invincible and that the tournament is going to be rough no matter who you are. There's not going to be any waltzing through the tournament to the finals.
I don't think
You're
you
gonna
can
have,
go 33 and 0. That just doesn't happen. So
no,
you want to have a couple losses.
you're going to be
Yeah,
a bare knuckle brawl every single day during the tournament that you're playing, and it gets them ready. It throws some shade
right.
on this glowing year they've had, and now
100%.
they get to go back in and taste a little bad taste and be like, all right, let's get to work. So, but Texas
100%.
Tech is fantastic. Toppin had 31 points or something like that.
God,
He was
he
amazing,
is so good. I know.
and I think they're a little underrated.
They are.
Texas Tech's good.
They're now sitting in
So
second in the Big 12 behind Arizona. So I think those are
yeah,
the top two
this
teams.
was the this was the big upset of the weekend. Otherwise, most of the top teams held serve, you
That's
know,
true.
they
That's
really
true.
did.
Speaking of one of the top teams,
Two,
number two,
yeah,
Michigan, they continue to get better and better and better. They're 24
they
and
look
1,
great.
and they're clearly the class of the Big Ten right now, 14 and 1 in the Big Ten.
Yeah,
And they're starting to blow people out now who are really good teams.
yeah,
It's
that's right.
just they're scary, man. They're Final Four scary.
They're good. They're going to be there at the end unless they have some kind of weird meltdown.
Yeah, they're right. They can go inside out. They can dunk. They can block shots.
Yeah,
They can hit threes. They
yeah,
play
they
really
have a
well.
they have a good shot at it.
Yeah. So then Houston, number three, a blowout, a pretty good Kansas State team. They hold serve.
hmm
It's
hmm
going to really be between them and Arizona and Texas Tech for the Big 12. Those are the three teams competing in that division. We'll see who comes out on top. Duke takes down a really good Clemson team. Clemson's going to be one of the
hmm
top three ACC teams. And Duke really kind of took care of business. I mean, they
Yeah,
handled them pretty easily. I was kind of surprised it wasn't a closer game.
yeah, they had a pretty good performance.
What do you think about how Duke is playing right now? I mean, I got to think they're going to be two or maybe one this week after some of these losses ahead of them. Maybe two.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
think I think they're positioned about right, 3 or 4. They might go higher, but I think that they should stay right around that
I think
three,
Arizona
4.
probably drops to 4 or 5, and I think Michigan becomes one, Houston becomes two, Duke becomes three, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It could be. It's probably gonna be Michigan, Houston, Duke, Arizona.
Probably. Yeah. Well, I really was
But
surprised
we'll see.
how they handled
But
Clemson
the
because
polls don't matter much right now, to be honest.
Clemson's
They're
a
not
really good
tell
team.
they're not telling you much.
Clemson's a really good team, and they just seemed very flustered against Duke. They couldn't get much going. Duke's a very good
Yeah, I mean,
defensive team too.
it's hard to play in Cameron.
It is.
It's hard.
So Iowa State has been really impressive this year. They took care of a very good Kansas team. Both of these teams will also go to the tournament. Both playing really good ball. I was really impressed with Iowa State. They really dismantled Kansas in this game.
Yeah,
Got a huge,
that's
huge lead and held on to it. So
Iowa State's a solid squad.
they are. They're really good. I think they're going
Hmm.
to make some noise in the tournament. So then UConn is starting to get into tournament shape. They had a 4-point win against Georgetown. They're 14-1 in the Big East. They're 24-2. And they're starting to look more and more like a Final Four level team, like they are almost every March Madness. So
Hmm.
don't sleep
Dan
on
Hurley,
UConn. Exactly. Don't sleep on
he's a
UConn.
good coach, man.
So the second best team in the Big Ten this year has been Nebraska all season, and they got a really
Hmm.
nice win against Northwestern. So they'd go to 22-3 now.
Most
Those
all these teams are just teams that held serve.
These are going to be all your 1 and 2 seeds in the bracket.
Hmm. Yep.
So yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch how they progress. North Carolina takes care of Pitt and goes to 20-5 and 8-4 in the ACC. They're right in that sweet spot of making the tournament now. There was a little
Hmm.
question about that at the beginning of the year because they weren't playing particularly well, but they've really picked it up.
They should absolutely make it.
And what's amazing is they played this game without Wilson, who's out with a break right now,
Yep.
and they're wondering whether he's going to be ready for March Madness. So this was a pretty impressive win without their best player. Gonzaga takes care of business. What a great team they are in the tournament. They're 13-1 in the WCC. Take care
Hmm.
of another tournament team in Santa Clara. This was a really great matchup in that league. Purdue, another Big Ten team that's going to make some noise, in my opinion. Took care of a very good Iowa
Yeah.
team. So you've got Braden Smith, who's in his last season there, and he's really leading that team right now. So Purdue's another team that's going to be a hard out. This was a great
Very.
game. Florida, UK. Both teams have been playing
Mhm.
particularly well lately. We know Florida is really loaded this year, and they really took care of business in Gainesville. What is your take on both of these teams?
I mean, that's a good matchup right there. That's a tournament matchup, and very solid performance by Florida. And Kentucky's coming back. It feels like they're back to a high standard. Um,
Did you see the
top,
Florida guy who's 7'9"? He can dunk on his
yeah,
tippy toes.
Giroux. I know,
He doesn't have
Giroux.
to jump.
Yeah,
Oh
he's
man,
he's uncoordinated, so they got to
he
work
is.
on that a little bit. But
He is. He's got a long way to
yeah,
develop.
yeah, he's huge.
Yeah. Virginia takes out Ohio State in Nashville. This is a little midseason
I
tournament
watched that one.
outside of the conference, and I thought Virginia played its best defensive performance in a long time. I was really impressed. Ohio
Yeah,
State has some really great players, and they really needed this one. Ohio State's kind of on the bubble to make the tournament.
yeah.
They don't have a quad win yet this year, so they might not make the tournament, and they really needed this one. And they led a lot of the game.
Hmm.
I thought Virginia had a really impressive second half, and Onyenso
Me
is
too.
just a
He was
beast center that we haven't
he
had.
was blocking shots all over the place, getting
Yeah,
rebounds. He was a
yeah,
force.
he was. He
Yeah.
was. And Virginia just made a couple more free throws, a couple more shots at the end, and locked down on defense just enough to get this win. So
Yeah.
that was,
It
that
was
was
a
a great.
very, very close contest.
It felt like an NCAA tournament game. It really did.
Yeah.
St. John's takes care of business against Providence. This is a really chippy game. There was 3 brawls in this game, including one 1 minute into the first half, where
Hmm.
all the benches cleared. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the Big East right now, but it got particularly chippy in this game.
The Big East is a chippy conference, man.
It is.
They
It is.
kind of blue collar, you
Every
know.
time you disrespect one guy, the whole bench clears. it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
it's just
Big
funny.
East is tough.
And they asked Patino about it. He just kind of shrugged. It's kind of like almost like he wants it. He wants them to be fired up. He just kind of
Yeah.
shrugged. It's like, let guys be guys. So Vanderbilt takes down Texas A&M, which is a really good team. Vanderbilt also a very good team, having a good season this year. These are two of the class of the SEC. Arkansas beats Auburn. Arkansas also looking like a tournament team this year, playing really solid ball. BYU gets a really big win over Colorado. This was a really good game. I was watching this, went into overtime.
Yeah.
And you could tell in overtime Colorado was kind of tired. They have a thinner bench than BYU does.
Yeah, that's huge.
BYU gets it done and in big fashion in the Big 12. And final game is Louisville, number 24, beats a really good Baylor team, 82-71. I thought this was one of Louisville's best wins of the year.
Yeah, it was a good one for them.
McNeely had some really nice shots. We're fans of McNeely because he used to play for Virginia. So, Overall take about the top 25 and how it's shaking out as we are about 3
Like I
weeks.
said, everybody held serve except Arizona. You can see the top 25 teams are separating. You can see some teams creeping up that aren't in the top 25 that are trying to make the case that they're tournament teams. And I think you're starting to see this is like the second season where first season is before Christmas. This is the second season, and then third season is all the tournament
It
times.
starts with the conference tournaments. Really,
It feels like, yeah, it feels like season 2 is coming to an end, and it's almost tournament time.
Right. It's true.
Conferences first, and then so it's exciting because you see a lot more teams that are playing together, slapping the floor, playing defense, um, rebounding as a team, getting back on D, moving effectively, and getting down the pattern, and also just generally, you have people identify who their team is, what the character of the team is, what the personality of each team is. Is it a defensive team? Is it a high-flying offensive team with no defense? The teams are starting to really show themselves for who they are now.
Yeah, I agree. It is true that they're starting to shake out and they're starting to separate themselves, especially those like 1, 2, and 3 seeds in the bracket. Those teams are all just not unbeatable, but they're all really rolling now in their conferences. So. Really proud of Virginia, how they played against Ohio State. A really tough team.
It was a great game. I loved it.
It was. So NBA standings at the All-Star break, with that All-Star game going on right now, not much has changed in the East. Pistons, Celtics, and Knicks at the top. The Cleveland Cavaliers, though, have made a little bit of a move. They've moved up from 6 to 4 now. So that's interesting. They're starting to kind of play into playoff shape now, the Cavaliers. And then the team that's made the biggest leap, of course, are my Charlotte Hornets that have gone from 12 to 9. They're solidly in the playoffs now, and they're still creeping up. They've won 9 out of 10 right before the All-Star break. So what's your take on the East right now?
I mean, it's scrappy. It's good. Celtics have surprised me how they're playing well overall for the season.
Without Tatum.
Pistons are tough.
Yep.
Yeah, without Tatum. The Knicks are for real.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland's making moves. I think Charlotte, Miami, these are all tough teams. I think this is a scrappy division that you don't want to play, or conference that you don't want to play. Not quite as talented as the Western Conference, but maybe just as dangerous.
If you had asked me a month ago, I would have told you the Charlotte Hornets might slip into the play-in playoffs, but I would not. I would say they were not better than Atlanta, Miami, Orlando, the 76ers. But I'll tell you now, a month later, they are better than these teams that they're grouped with right now. They're better than them. I would say they're probably not better than those top 5 teams, but really impressive how they've come together mid-season. It's been pretty cool to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of good teams out of the East this year. I think I'm not sure if they can quite compete with the top 3 in the West, but we will see. Speaking of the West, OKC has dropped a couple lately, looking a little less invincible than they were. The Spurs,
they look beatable on a given night.
On a given night, but in a 7-game series, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Spurs are in good position. The Nuggets have been winning a little bit more lately, and the Rockets,
Yeah.
of course, very good. They got a great lineup. I'm impressed with the Lakers. I mean, I did
Yeah,
not think
Lakers have
they'd
been
be
better.
in this position right now, mid-season at 33-21, and in really good spot. So
Yeah.
Timberwolves have just been. They've had periods they're really good and periods they're just okay this year. They've kind of fallen down to 6. And then you see your play-in teams there all the way down to the Clippers, which surprises me because the Clippers a month ago were sitting in 7.
Yeah.
They slipped a little bit lately. So, thoughts about the West?
I mean, it's very solid. I think your top three, actually top four, can really make some noise. I'm impressed with the Lakers, and there's some talented teams that are on the outside looking in still. So that competition is going to do a good job of sorting out who really belongs there.
Did you
Everyone
think
can make
the
a
Dallas
final push
Mavericks?
after the All-Star break. They can do a final push and see what we got left.
Did you think the Dallas Mavericks, with a really playing well Cooper Flag and what looked like a great lineup, would be sitting in a 19-35 position? I
Not
just think
really.
they've been incredibly
I,
disappointing this year.
I knew that all this talk about them and championships and stuff was very premature. I felt that back then before I even saw them play one game, but I didn't think they were going to be bad, you know, because I
I don't
knew
think.
Cooper Flag was going to get his feet under him and do well. And
Yeah,
then,
he's playing great.
there's a lot of talented players around him. They shouldn't be this bad.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's interesting to see when we look at this set of standings on both sides here in a month or two, how this is going to shake out as the push to the playoffs happens, but going to be really fun to watch. So, last note on this slide, Robbie, the All Star game happening right now. Do you like the new
Hmm.
format, World versus USA? Do you like that? They're experimenting with a different format every single year, it seems like. Last year it was
Yeah,
team LeBron and team,
we've talked about
NBA.
these sports coming out the better end by experimenting a little and trying some new ideas. I don't love Team USA versus the world. I don't think that generates that much excitement. For some reason in golf it does. I think the Ryder Cup is very exciting.
Ryder Cup's fantastic. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, but somehow that's different, and I don't know exactly. If you ask me, explain that. I don't think I can. It just feels a little different. But yeah, I think that LeBron said that he prefers East versus West. I think I do too. I think you have to incentivize a win. You have to incentivize the teams to try to get the win instead of having it be 170 to 165, where everyone's laughing after giving up an uncontested layup. Um, you got to have something big riding on it, and if you don't, then the game's a joke, and you it's a showcase of egos, not so much talent. So
I will say World versus USA is better than what they had last year, which was a complete joke. The
yeah,
whole captain thing and Team LeBron and
yeah,
all that. It was 176, 162. There was no
yeah,
defense.
it's insane.
It was a joke. And so this year, I watched the first half, and I will say they're playing defense. They're playing tough defense, trying to block each other's shots. It looks like it's a real competitive game. Looks like they actually care about it now. But I agree with you. I'd like them to go back to the old format in the days where we had Michael Jordan and you had Larry Bird, and these guys really cared about it. Even if they weren't getting paid for the game, they still cared about it. So that's what I'd
Hmm.
like to see. Go back to East and West and put something on the line.
Yeah,
Like whoever
you got to
wins
put something
game
big on the
7.
line so that
Yeah.
the winner gets a big bonus and gets home court advantage, and the loser gets no money or a tiny amount of money and no home court advantage.
That's what I think. Game 7 in
Something,
the playoffs would be huge.
yeah, something
For the
like that.
Yep. So, guys, drop us a comment what you'd like to see in the NBA All Star break and in the game itself to make it a little bit more exciting. Just let
I
us
will
know.
say that it's probably a little better than the NFL stars.
It is. Yeah, it's
That
flag
one's
football.
that one's pitiful.
Yeah. It's on Tuesday, flag football. And guess how many people watched it?
I don't know.
500, 500,000.
Yeah, I know. That's
I
bad.
mean, it's completely collapsed. So,
And I will say that the All-Star weekend, I mean, I like watching the slam dunk and the 3-point contest.
I do too.
Congrats to Damian Lillard for the 3-point contest. He beat out Devin Booker and Concanupal. So way to go there. Very good.
I was
It's his
proud of
third
Canupa
time.
for
He's
competing. Yep.
third time Dame's won that. And then Kashad Johnson won the uh, slam dunk contest for the Heat, for Miami
Yep.
Heat. So
That
I
was
like
cool.
that. That's good. I saw those dunks. They're pretty good. I don't think they would have won back in the heyday, but they were good, solid dunks. I think the 3-point seemed to have a little bit more juice to it than the slam dunk contest this year, but it was still good. You know, it's fun.
Well, Robbie, what are you most looking forward to in the last week of Olympics coming up?
Last week of Olympics, the hockey. I can't get my eyes off Team USA and Canada are steamrolling towards each other. If something disrupts that, I'll be really sad. I really want that to happen. I feel like there's still a lot of good medals out there to be had. For sure, we've made it into the finals rounds of several events today, and yesterday. So coming up this week, we'll be into that. I think that's pretty much what I'm looking forward to with the Olympics. Continue to see hopefully some amazing performances and hopefully the US will keep getting medals. I don't care if we're first. I just, I want us to have good showing.
I'm looking forward to all the events. I really enjoy every single one of them, but
Yeah, same.
mainly curling and hockey. Those are my top two because
I know one cool
we're
thing's
in
going
really
on.
good
I think,
position in the U.S. in all those different events. So.
yeah, I think one cool thing that's going on right now is women's ski jump, which is the first time they're doing the long jump.
Right, right.
So that's exciting.
And you
Let's
guys saw
go.
in our preview show that we have a particular interest in the ski jump because we were just over there in Norway. And Rob got to zip line down one, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yep. Well, guys, drop us a comment. We really love them. We read them on the air. We will next time we get together. And we really love that you come on this journey with us. Hopefully, you're enjoying the Olympics as much as we are. We're loving it. We're watching every event. And please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And we will see you guys next time on the Sports Guys. Enjoy the week with the
Yep.
Olympics.
And
Have a
one
great.
more thing. One more thing. The Daytona 500 was today,
Yep.
and Tyler Riddick won it, and he is one of Michael Jordan's racers. So Michael Jordan winning championships again. So
That's
that's kind of
awesome.
fun. I got to
Go,
watch a
Michael.
bunch of that. That was good. Good race.
Go, Michael. Yeah, we'll have to do a
Yeah.
NASCAR event at some point.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. We had a great time.
Check out our merch store, and
Amazing
we'll see you
weekend.
next time.
Check out our merch store. We'll see you.
See you.